When students of grade 12 are going to write their chemistry paper in just 2 days, it would be a wonderful opportunity to get guidance from a teacher who has been a gold medalist and carries 25 years of experience. She pursues her teaching career with a sole goal of sharing her knowledge with the students. We have Dr. Preetha Anil from Calicut joining us today on EduTalks. And in this video, Dr. Preetha will be guiding students on various topics related to chemistry exams, like final strategy for revision, paper writing tips, how to deal with difficult questions, and many other things. Dr. Preetha Anil has done her PhD in biochemistry and she has worked as a professor and HOD in various institutes. She is a founder of Brainsmith Basics Academy. It has been a wonderful opportunity to have her on our show today. So let's get started. Hello, Dr. Preetha. I know how busy you have been these days because the board exams are about to start now from 28th and you'd be really, really busy with your students. But thank you so much for joining us here on ID Talks today and a warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, as you said, I've been really busy. Today I took almost 9 hours classes, I guess. So this is
Okay.
the last moment. Energy is totally drained out, but no, it's very comforting to be with the students at the last moment, for them as well as for me also. So really enjoyed the process. But anyway, please go ahead.
So I'm sure your students would also be getting inspired because when teacher is giving so much dedication, students will also absorb that
Yeah, I
energy.
guess that is required. Yes, exactly. Somebody to be there, even if I'm not doing anything much, because it is their time to study now. Whatever we have done in the past 1 year, we did. But it is now their time. But being there as a moral and emotional support do definitely means a lot.
Sure. So, Dr. Preetha, quickly we'll start with the questions related to 12th chemistry exams. And my very first question is that only 2 days are left now. So, what should be the strategy for the final revision?
See, to be very frank, I don't believe in last minute preparations actually. I always tell my children, you take time throughout the year. The first day of the session begins, your start journey has started. You have to begin from there itself. But as and when children do take it in a light manner, towards the end, yes, it becomes very risky kind of a preparation. But anyway, like I always tell my children students that make hay while the sun shines, but you cannot dig a well when you're thirsty. You have to start the process long back. But all said and done, 2 days left, 48 hours you have now. So they have very less portion this year. That is, some chapters are deleted. So if we focus on that, altogether 12th chemistry has only 10 chapters to study for the final exam. Some of the chapters are gone. So if I take small chapter requires like 2 hours, 3 hours for a big chapter, then 2 to 3 hours. That is for 10 chapters, it works out to only 20 to 30 hours. You have 48 hours. Still, some time is extra there. So with that positive frame of mind, we can complete the complete revision in these 2 days. It's not a big task. We can. So that
So
positive attitude is first required.
you simplified in such a great manner that they would feel that okay, we have enough time. In fact, we have more time to finish this thing. It's about proper planning. So, Dr. Preetha, if we talk about syllabus of chemistry syllabus and CBSE, so how do you see it? Is it challenging? Is it balanced? How do you observe in context to students' approach?
See, 12th chemistry, definitely being the board exam, it becomes a little bit more tough kind of a thing. And chemistry compared to physics has little bit more extra because it is divided into three branches: physical, inorganic, and organic chemistry. In this year, physical chemistry, they have three chapters, inorganic two chapters, and maximum chapters in the organic section. That is total, including biomolecules chapter, there are 5 chapters. So net total 10 chapters they have to prepare. So I would suggest the children to go with a section like the one you dislike most, that should be the first one to do. Many children don't like organic chemistry, that is tough also. So why not start from organic chemistry, so that in the back of the mind, when tomorrow morning happens, yes, I have completed that part. Now the simpler tasks are remaining to be completed. So always simplify the process as you go along is the motto. So we can do, as I told you, 2 to 3 hours for each chapter. Sit, take a marker or a sketch pen in your hand as you read the book. Since time is less now, forget everything else, focus on only on the NCRT textbook. So that rest everything goes out, you complete the NCRT book, that is more than enough to get 80%.
Okay. And can you take us through the board exam paper? Like, what will the pattern of the paper?
Yeah, this year, after 2 years of Corona and all, our paper pattern has again changed. So now we have more number of 1 mark questions. Frankly speaking, the total number of 1 mark questions total up to something like 30 or 32, because section A contains almost 21 mark questions, mostly multiple choice questions. But still, when MCQ is given, we always get confused between two answers. Most of the time it happens. Then assertion, reasoning, and 1 mark questions in case studies also. 3 to 4 case study questions are there, each question containing like 4 sub questions with 1 or 2 marks each. So all these needs to be scored. So long answer and short answer we can write, but in 1 mark, when you write correctly, 1 full marks. If it is wrong, it is 0. That is a big problem. So we need to tackle the 1 marks properly, and for that I believe theory part of the textbook is most essential, important. In-depth study of all the solved examples in the textbook will take you through that easily. So I should tell you all the children to focus on the textbook, solved questions first, then the text back question answer. Just give it a reading with a pencil in hand, underline, and everything will absorb. Because last moment automatically focus will come, distractions will be minimum. It is a pressure on you. You have to study. So that will happen. So no need to worry. I would say there is still ample time. Do as much as you can and leave the rest to God. My motto. कर्म करो फल की चिंता मत करो, as simple as you can say.
सही है, भगवत गीता ने सिखाया है.
Of
So,
course.
is there any particular method to follow while writing the paper, like starting from any particular section or the question?
I always tell the children complete the 1 mark first, because later when you come back, if you're confused somewhere, time goes fast out of your hands. Follow the A, B, C, D section. I won't say start from the end. I never say that. Start from the very beginning. It's also, 1 mark questions you can answer fast. So you have a little bit more time towards the end. But for some other children, A, B section, the last C and D section, they need to answer first. They feel more comfortable. Depends on the child, whichever way he goes through. You should have practiced the way beforehand itself. That is, at home when you were there before the exams, 2 to 3 samples papers when you solve, you get a fairly good idea which is your best pattern to begin, from the back side or from the front side. But go in a sequential manner so that questions don't get left out in between. Because sometimes when you go here and there, some questions slip out of the hand. You won't even notice. Time will be very less to come back and recorrect it. So better always go section one, complete it fully without leaving anything, then go to the next section. That would be my sincere advice.
Any tips on time management while writing the paper?
Of course. Now, that again comes from practice. This is not a last minute thing to do, that you sit in the exam hall and think about what time management I'm going to do. You should have already practiced it. So we always tell the children to at home, the same time when you're writing the exam, like 10:30 to 1:30, the same time you should practice at home. So you know that in when the clock strikes 11, where you are actually. Have you completed the A section? That gives you ample time to think about, but not in the exam hall. So now time and tried tested, what is called tried and time tested method. Follow that what you have been doing till now. Don't try anything new, because that will add to more pressure. So better to carry on as it is, what you have done.
So, if we talk about the question paper, like students are able to finish it within the time, or it seems a bit lengthy for them, how they are able to manage it?
See, yesterday they had the English paper, I guess. Yesterday, day before yesterday, they had complete the English paper. Most of the students could well complete in time. But there are some, again, unseen passage, they took so long to read and then come. Some children have left to 2 questions towards that. That also 5 mark questions. They said they didn't get time to write. That is poor time management actually. You know it is going to be, passages are really lengthy. You cannot read each and every line. You have to skim and then go to the questions and write. So it again depends on child to child. Overall, most of them are able, 3 hours is ample time to complete. But if you ponder along for a long time on one question, time is literally slip out of your hands. So better not to do that right fast. You won't have time to stop and think. That should not be there. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. You don't get it, leave it. It is not going to come automatically. Maybe it strikes later, come back and write. But don't linger there or wait. Just go on writing. That is the only thing you can do.
So, what are the common mistakes that students make while writing the paper, and how can they avoid them?
See, in chemistry, it's not like maths. In maths, calculation mistakes happen every nook and corner. But chemistry is not exactly you can inadvertently make mistakes or anything like that. But yeah, organic chemistry side, when you're writing the reactions and all, and again that comes from the practice thing. You have to be really be focused, and once you read the question, it should focus on your mind and understand what exactly they have asked. There is no second time to think about it and again start working on it. So once when you read the question, it should come to your mind what they have asked and straight away go. No coming back and thinking about it. When you get confused, that is chances that you might write the wrong thing. So first thing what comes to your mind, it has come from hard work. Write it down. Don't come back and change it. Whatever happens, leave. There is nothing to correct over there. So finish the paper is the first thing. Don't leave. It should not happen that last question was very known to you, but you couldn't write it, you didn't get time. So completing the paper is a task at most essential. It should not get left out anything. So complete as much as you can. And for that, keep writing, don't wait. That's all.
Well, writing the paper, sometimes when they find the question is difficult or they're not getting the answer or they don't know the complete answer. So pressure buildups in that case. So what advice would you give? How should they cope up with it and how can they go ahead?
Very true. Even before entering the exam hall, take 3, 4, 5 deep breaths. Your mind, brain should be saturated with oxygen. That will keep you calm. And whenever you feel that some panic is building up in the bottom of your stomach, just take deep breaths. Focus. It will come back again. It happens with everybody. It's not a new thing, but you need to deal with it. And the best way to deal is deep breath. It really works. It really works. And when you take 3 or 5 breaths, you okay, we'll get back to it. I'm fine. I'll know I'll to do it. If you cannot do it, fine, no problem. It's fine. I tell the children, take an opportunity that you may miss 2 questions. That's okay, no problem. You will pass with more than average marks. Maybe that much. But if you later think I could have given little bit more time and I could have done much better, why not use it for your next exam? What is done is done. You cannot change it. So take it as a what you say guiding tool for the next exam. That next exam be prepared before and don't let it be a last minute preparation. That children learn. Bad experience is what make you successful. It's also not a bad thing. Some children learn faster, some children learn later, but it's okay. All part and parcel of life. So better to be doing it, and I don't think there is anything to get negative. Be very positive, and we will later after 5 years we'll say, see, I did that day very bad, but okay, turned out to be life is better, no problem.
Yes. So, Dr. Pritha, you have been teaching students for more than 25 years now. So,
Yes,
what has been your observation? What has helped them in scoring well or learning better?
it is always the time and tested method is enough. From the beginning, start studying. From the very beginning, the session starts that day onwards. Your journey has begun. Don't wait for the date of the exam to be announced to start thinking and preparing. It will happen. Everybody knows that exam is going to happen. It's not a new thing. Why not from the day one take matters in your hand? And the best way to do is all the 5 subjects which you have study on a daily basis. Time management is nothing but self management. You manage yourself, time automatically gets managed, and you can devote 5 hours every day. Your self study. Whichever school you go to, whichever hi fi teacher comes and teaches you, but what matters at the end of the day is your self study. Whether you have sat with the book and studied yourself or not. That is what matters. And every day, if you do that, there is no tension or pressure of examination. You're already always prepared. Any slip test happens or a surprise test happens, you're prepared. You have done today's duty. And that gives you more time for leisure also. 24 hours. I always tell my children that 24 hours you have in your hand. That is one wealth which has been very equally distributed between every individual in this world. No 1 minute less or no 1 minute more. So what you make out of that time is in your hands. Nobody else will dictate that. More time is what changes the equation. So if you manage time right from class ninth onwards, it has to happen because it's a habit building process. It doesn't happen overnight. So right from class 9, because till 8 children should be let to live. They should enjoy, they should play. We are not supposed to teach time management right from KG1, KG2. Let them be children. But ninth onwards, let us take a step towards management. Time management, self-management, everything should happen in a proper this thing. Automatically it becomes a part of life and it is much more relaxing. No wastage of time. You are well prepared in every walk of life. And that I believe prepares you for actual life when you set out of college or out of school. That is the best thing you can give a student. The what is a wealth of managing time. Nothing else is required. Rest everything will follow suit.
Yeah, so changing such habits would automatically convert their efforts into results.
Of course. And we need to, somebody has to monitor them. Teacher alone is not enough. We guide the parents to manage it like this and keep on, because children always listen to teachers more than their parents. It's always like that.
That's
My children won't listen to me as much as somebody else tells them. They will listen to that person. Similarly, I feel I'm a very important tool there where I can tell the children, see, this is what, and they listen to me more than listening to their parents. And that really works wonderfully. As many children whom I tell that you plan your lifestyle, you can plan early morning when you get up. I always tell the children that start with a glass of lukewarm water to detoxify your body with little drops of some drops of lemon. Not only detoxifies your body, mind with little prana study. That works wonders, really wonders. And getting up early morning is a must. No digital devices, no virtual world for study. Have books in your hands. Let it be reference book, any kind of book. But children should study through books and library.
It's a blessing to have a wonderful teacher like you who is not just focusing on their curriculum or subject, but enlightening them with so many other tips and benefits also, because that is also needed.
Of course, studying is not an individual thing. It is your wholesome personality. It comes with all other things. The child should also help at home. So I believe teaching is only just one small part. What matters is teaching them how to live life. Studies is part of it. So when you manage your time and help at home also. See, relaxation between studies is go and wash dishes in the kitchen with your mother. She will feel very happy. You will feel happy. You did something different, and when you do that something different, your mind works creatively much better. You are relaxed. You are not thinking of studies. Studying 24 hours is a waste of time. Studying smart is what is important. Quality study. No need of any quantity study. 5 hours every day, that solves everything.
We talked about quality in studies. So I would like to ask that the moment student comes in grade 12th, the whole focus would be on marks or getting percentage so they could get admission in a better college. So I would like to know actual how much learning is happening here. Is it all about the marks, or students are actually learning something which they can use practically later on?
See, that actually, if you ask me, I would always say positive for this thing. But when you ask different students, till now I get questions, why am I studying trigonometry? What is the use of trigonometry? It's a very, I also used to think, because physics was one subject which I didn't like much, but I didn't understand because I didn't get a proper guidance from that. But again, every basic subject, it's all science. I believe there is only one subject that is science. You call it as environmental sciences, social science, mathematical sciences, or even language. It's all part of science only. We are just studying it as different branches, so it gives us more authority to talk about a certain thing. That's all. But overall, when we talk about these subjects or studies or anything, marks, parents focus. I don't think children focus much on marks. It's parents' problem. We need to solve that different manner to tell or sensitize the parents. Every child has a capacity, ability, and its own potential. Let us build that potential to more level. I believe the best blessing to be born is an average child. You get much more to improve on. If you're already born as a prodigy or a very talented, there is nothing much to change or improve. You're already having everything. But life is achieving. You need to be average so we can achieve and keep on working. If challenges are not there, life is not worth living. So I guess, yes, education wise, there is a lot of changes happening. The new education policy has brought in lot of changes, and that is for the better only. Now things are picking up more. It's more than marks. It has become something whether you have gained knowledge or not. That makes a very important difference. So it is for the better only. Things are going for the better.
So you mentioned about different categories of the students, a scholar student, average student, or below average students. So in your broad experience, what have you observed? Where are they placed? A student who has not been so good with his marks and all, and have you seen him achieving something great? Any such incidences which could give motivation to others?
Sure, I will tell you a recent experience. This kid has been studying with me since last class 10, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. She recently passed out of 12th. In 11th, what happened? It was during the corona time, last to last year, when her exam was there. They had the first half of the 11th examination as OMR sheet. 1 mark questions were there, and they had to color that circles, and OMR sheet was given. That kid was studying so hard for physics. She didn't sleep much the previous night. She was sick before, and so she put up her entire effort that night before, 1 day before the exam, studied and went. So that day, like slightly, she was hazy kind when writing the exam. And one question got wrong. The circling, instead of question number 12, it went to 13. So from there onwards, the entire series changed. She was marking for question number 14, but it went in the 15th circle. So the entire questions from there onwards went wrong. A, B, C, D, all those got, this thing. What happened? The end was very bad. The results, when it came up, first half got very bad. She was depressed like anything. But we talked, we had, she, see, it happens. That's not the end. I'll tell you that second half of the exam, when it was descriptive, she really worked hard. She did, forgetting the first half, whatever happened, happened. She did good score, good in the second, but overall, the result has already got affected. Average, more than average, she passed. But today, I'll tell you very proudly that didn't deter her from anything. She is now one of the physics student, that is honors grade student of Noida University, Delhi. To leave from Kerala and go and study in Delhi, it matters a bit. In her batch, she was only one who got that seat. Nobody else reached there. So that makes a difference. You may get bad. Failures is just a stepping stone to success. We have to really go through that. It's not a big thing. But when you fall, get up. There is no problem. Get up and walk. That's all. You will reach the destination. So she did wonders. And other many examples. The children are very weak in mathematics, but constantly keep motivating, doing, and it's okay. There is no need to be hard or take a stick. It will be, I think, more love works much better than using a stick. Just say normally and do along with the child, it works wonders.
Definitely, what matters is gaining knowledge, because once you have those skills and knowledge, you would shine anywhere. So, Dr. Preetha, it's been a wonderful conversation with you, and I'm really glad that I could get in touch with you. Before we end this conversation, what message would you like to give to the students who are appearing for their grade 12th exams?
Be relaxed. Whatever you have done, done. Now it is last minute preparations. Focus on the NCRT book completely. Forget everything outside of it. This 48 hours which you have, utilize each and every minute of it, but don't compromise on sleep. Sleep is essential so that whatever you study stays in your mind, and drink water. Remain hydrated throughout the day. Always have a water bottle on your study table. Even in exam hall, 10:30 to 1:30, it's a very hot time, most parts of the India, our country. So at that time, have water, always be hydrated. That will give you more proper output than being, tensed or anything. And no anxiety, no panic. Whatever is happening for your best. You have been chosen for a certain role in life. That will happen. No matter this exam goes little bad or good or very good, it's none of the matter. What you go and write, you got the opportunity to write. That matters much more than anything else. And whatever happens, the outcome will be perfectly well. So all the very best to all of you. God bless you. Believe in a greater power than yourself. Out at the end, everything will be well. All is well that ends well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Preetha, for sharing your wisdom with us. It's our pleasure to have you here on the show, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.